The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Greetings and welcome to Easton 300, a monthly TV show that highlights all the good things that we'll be doing during the year 2025 as the Town of Easton celebrates their 300th anniversary. And of course, this is a community that's rich in history. I'm Dave Clifton. I'm here along with Brian Hoffman, my co-host. We're so happy to do this show so that we can let the residents here in the town of Easton, here in Shoveltown, know about all the exciting things that will be happening. And Brian, our special guest today, are the coordinators for two events that will take place in April of 2025. On my right, we have Joan Lundgren. And Joan is the co-chair of an event that will take place on April 26th. There will be the Art and Cultural Festival at the Oakes Ames Memorial Hall. And on my left, your right, we have a husband and wife routine who have volunteered to co-chair an Easton 300 Family Fun Day that'll take place at Langwater Farm, and that's scheduled for April 19th. And what's the difference? Well, they're all going to take place in April of 2025, but one happens to be a signature event, the event that Joan is involved with. And of course, we have a partnership event where our committee, appointed by the town, will work with other groups in town that have been doing things on an annual basis. And we're asking those community organizations to kind of beef up their event because it is our 300th anniversary. And Brian, we've been doing this show now almost 2 years.
Yep.
And certainly I think people in town now know that there is a celebration. And guess what? 2025 has arrived.
It has. It seems like yesterday, but it was quite a while ago when we first started talking about what was going to happen in 2025. And the viewers know and people around town know that, you know, that was in 2023 when we were starting to talk about that. I don't think you can miss it now. That billboard, you know, at the corner of Belmont Street is, you know, a showstopper. And the banners that are around town, David, you know, you've seen them. Tom, Karen, Joan, I know you've all seen them.
We got about 200 that'll actually be going up on all the wooden poles in the town, thanks to the Department of Public Works.
Yep.
And of course, their director, Dave Fields.
Yep, and they've done a great job. It was funny when it was snowing the other day. You know, I happened to be out. I had to get out and do an errand, and seeing them in the snow, it was kind of a little bit like that It's a Wonderful Life. You know, you're driving down Main Street and all the lights are on and it's snowing. I'm looking for George Bailey putting up another banner on a pole. But it's significant, the number of people who now will come up to you and talk about it and now understand there's something really special going on.
And not only that, but we actually had on January 4th our first event of the year. And it turned out that we had about 2,500 people, according to the police that works at Stonehill College. They kind of estimate, they've been doing crowds before, and they had kind of a ballpark figure, about 2,500 people. Now that indicates to me, as the chair, and I'm so happy and honored to be able to lead the group. And I always say that leaders are as good as the people that they surround themselves. And there's 4 people here with me today that help make things happen. And Joan, I'm going to start with you. Your event is on April 26th. It's the Art and Cultural event. And of course, there's lots of artists in the town of Easton. Tell us about it.
I
It
will
sounds exciting.
before you take all my information and all my everything I have to say. As Dave said, April the 26th. It's from 11 o'clock to 4 p.m. It'll be at Oakes Ames Hall, which is at 3 Barrow Street. And the idea for this is, as Dave said, there's a lot of artists in Easton, but it's not limited to Easton. And it's artists of all mediums, painting, jewelry, pottery, etc. And it's a chance to showcase your work and to sell your work. So we're hoping for about 40 to 45 artists. And that is exciting enough. And I'm going to go back and tell you how you get involved, how you show us your work, because we have a committee that will choose the artists for the event. But we're going to have a lot of music, a lot of local music that will be playing during the day. And then we're going to have a lot of food. And one of the nice things we're doing with the food is that we're giving it out. I don't want you to rush. We had 2,500 people at the last one. But kind of like our Taste of Easton. So we're drawing from area restaurants and supermarkets and different places in Easton. So you get a taste of what's available. And then, of course, Shoveltown Brewery will be there, and they will have beer and wine. It's going to be a great day, and hoping for wonderful weather. But I'm going to put my glasses on to tell you that to get your application, and that'll have the rules, and we ask you to submit photographs of what you want, showing us your work. You're going to go to easton300.org, easton300.org, or you can, for more information, you can email Diane Lasardi, but that's at easton.2025@gmail.com. I'm going to do that again because I did that a little quick. But to get the complete rules, guidelines, application, go to easton300.org. That's the most important one. So what we're going to ask you to do is submit 3 photographs. We have a committee. The deadline, by the way, is February the 21st to submit your work. And then we will let you know the second week in March who's going to be a part of it.
I'm glad you mentioned the event in January, the 2,500 people. Joan and Dave mentioned it as well. Tom, were you and Karen able to attend? I thought I saw you there.
Yep.
The one thing that was really impressive, and if you were, you as folks in the town, if you were there, you know this, it was something that appealed to every age level, to every sense of involvement in the community, and to see the kids and the parents. Literally, there was a bouncy house for toddlers. I think if your kid was under a certain size, they were allowed to go crawl into that thing and have some fun, all the way up to, the Shoveltown Beer Garden. Great food provided by the food folks at Stonehill College. And the thing that was remarkable was that, to me, this really had that show of a community event. It wasn't just for one purpose, wasn't just for one group of people. It was everybody in the community, and I think it was an amazing success. I couldn't believe they had that many people there.
And of course, that's that happens to be our theme for the entire celebration year.
Yep.
And that is bringing families and community together. You were going to
And
say, Joan.
yeah, I was going to add, the event on April the 26th is not. Of course, we'd like children to be there. It's not geared
it's
to
not geared
children.
toward kids.
Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
absolutely,
But
yeah.
concurrently, and this is what I wanted to get out, there will be events right next door at the library. The library is going to be very involved, and they're going to have different activities for children. Unity Church, right down the street with the beautiful Lafarge windows, the following day on the 27th, will have a special candle service and bell choir. It will be beautiful with
they're
refreshments. We haven't completely firmed up the time, but there'll be posters on that in town. And on the 26th, which is World Tai Chi Day, same day as the Arts and Cultural Festival, Queesit outside will have Tai Chi classes. So it's a little bit of, that's why I'm praying for the good weather. Everything for, all age groups. So we hope that you will be there. I have a small one, but we have large posters you're going to start seeing around town, rack cards, and remember easton300.org, and we hope that you send your application in. Thanks.
This
Thanks,
is a good
Dave.
opportunity, Joan, for us to thank you and your co-chair, Diane Lasati, as well as all your volunteers on your committee that have stepped up to the plate to do what they can to plan your event. It's got to be exciting for you
It
to
is.
work at a place like Oakes Ames
It is.
Memorial Hall.
I love working there. I've been there 6 years now. I rent the hall. I'll take a shameless plug, but it's a beautiful building. And we're very, very excited to be a part of the Tricentennial and to host this event.
And of course, you've had a lot of experience hosting events at the hall. Our other two guests on my left and your right, folks, this is a couple that stepped up to be volunteers a long time ago. I remember the very first meeting, you folks over at Langwater Farm, and I know that Tom and Karen Hetzel have been active in the community, but tell us about the Family Fun Day, and that's going to take place on April 19th, which is a week before Joan's event, but tell us about it.
So on April 19th, it'll be the Easton 300 Family Fun Day at Langwater Farm. Vertec is also sponsoring this event as well with Langwater. And this is a very kid-friendly event. There will be free hay rides, lots of activities that will be happening, in particular face painting by Artsy, Laura and Jen are amazing face painters, so they will be there. We also will have music by the Toe Jam Puppet Band and Mr. Bubble Guy. They are well received around town for kids. They really do interactive types of music. Actually, they were at the January 4th event as well, and everyone was enthralled when they were performing. So they will be there between 11 and 1. The whole event will be from 10 to 2 on the 19th. We also will have a bounce house. We will have potato sack races, plant seeding. So this will be the beginning of planting time, April 19th. So every child will be able to plant some type of seed and bring it home. There's going to be cornhole, and also there'll be, if you want on your own, it'll be either daffodils or hyacinth picking, but that will not be free, but you will be able to do that day as well.
Will there be ice cream there?
I'm not sure what the snack is going to be yet. We
if
haven't.
there is,
Oh, I hope there's ice cream, Dave.
I haven't.
Brian and myself in if you can.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
We're working out with Langwater what kind of snack we're going to have that day. It is April, so it's a little iffy about ice cream, but we shall see what kind of snack will be there.
The hay wagon
there.
rides sound terrific.
Oh, yes,
in
and
terms
it'll
of
go on.
families
Yes.
jumping and going for a ride.
They have, oftentimes they have birthday parties
see
there. And
Dave
if you've ever
jumping.
been to one with a birthday party, they go on these really cool rides up into the back fields that I never knew existed. And I particularly went on one that was at Halloweenish type time, and they got to bring home pumpkins. So I imagine this will be around the farm, and we'll see the beginnings of the plants that Langwater plants every year. They're getting to be quite the place to get food of all kinds of types of products there. They even have like a supper club, I heard, right now.
They do.
Tom,
yeah.
what can you add to this
Well, I
in
think
terms of your role?
Well, we're both going to be there, obviously, to help the parents and the kids have just a spectacular time. I think a lot of what we said early on of opening up our event up at the college, seeing the 2,500 families that were out there, really did have a great time watching the kids play around. We just kind of walked around and they were smiling, they were running around, having a ball. And that's what this event is all about. It's just there for families, for kids to eat, just enjoy themselves. I think that the ice cream should be on the menu. There's not a bad day, doesn't care what the weather shows, is a good day for ice cream.
I was going to say that ice cream is not weather dependent.
It's not.
Not at all.
And this band that we're showcasing that's going to be at our event, again, was at Stonehill, and the kids had a ball. And if you want to get the kids good and tired, bring those strollers, bring them around. A lot of entertainment, a lot of fun events going on. Your son or daughter will be greatly entertained and hopefully tired at the end. Go right to bed.
It's all part of bringing the community together. I find that a lot of the events that take place, if you have music, entertainment, and food,
And Shoveltown beer and wine.
Yep.
How can you have a bad time?
Just have that and they will come.
Pretty good crowds.
And
You were gonna say
I
something,
did.
Joan.
I want to say a very, very special thank you to Northeastern Savings Bank because they're sponsoring the Art and Cultural Day. And I want to say especially thank you to Courtney Palm from Northeastern Savings Bank and her staff because they're going to be the volunteers you're going to see on the 26th. And we're really so appreciative of them and of the bank.
And she does a terrific job, Courtney,
She does.
in terms of marketing. And of course, we all learn from each other. And one of the ways of us getting the word around town, and I know Brian mentioned it earlier when we went on the air, about our posters, our yard signs. These are our posters that are going to be in all the businesses, and it lists all the signature events that will be taking place. But there's a lot of spirit in the community. There's a lot of people talking about the celebration. I remember, and I was telling someone today, that I remember going into Shaw's back in early 2023, and I hardly knew anybody. And I was at Shaw's last week, and every other person was coming over saying,
You're like
"Dave,
the mayor.
we are excited about this celebration.
Yep.
Don't get this bread, get this bread over here, it's
right.
softer." And I tell you, there's excitement in the air. People are coming together to celebrate 300 years of history here in the town of Easton. And if you want to take a look at the banner, it's right behind Brian, and you can see that magic logo, which is the clock.
So I'll get out of the way here.
Can we see it?
It's Piper did a terrific
She
job.
did. She did. Piper Jornelis,
and,
local resident and artist.
Yeah, she won the contest
Yep,
for this
she
beautiful
did.
work.
Yeah, and I think there were well over 110 or so entries into the contest for the logo. And again, that speaks to the kind of artistic talent and the kind of just engagement that exists in the town of Easton. Remarkable in itself to get that many entries for something so early in the process. And now it's iconic. It's everywhere.
And they look
Right here.
so beautiful as you drive through town. How many do we have now, Dave?
We got about 170 that are up, but we're going to have 200
Wow.
plus before all is said and done. And it seems to be the magic colors here in the town of Easton,
Yeah.
black and orange. That's why I wore a black coat today. And you wore your
I've got my logo
Easton
right here.
300
Yep.
Sweatshirt.
And the rest of us obviously didn't get the memo.
But something at all the signature events and many of the partnership events, the merchandise that you see Brian wearing, the quarter zip sweatshirt, will be available at all the signature events and a good number of the other events. Certainly at the Family Fun Day at Langwater, there will be merchandise there as well, because merchandise sales at Stonehill that day were amazing, and everybody wanted something. We have all kinds of hoodies, we have sweatshirts, We have t-shirts, long sleeve, short sleeve. We have knit hats. We have baseball caps. We have a cookbook with 300 recipes, aprons, Afghans of the tricentennial, not just the one that's, no, nothing against the one that's at the Historical Society. This one is an addition to that one, and it has the logo in the center of the Afghan, and it's been a huge seller. As well as we have lots of different types of glasses, beer glasses, bourbon glasses. I'm trying to think of everything else that we sell there.
Well, the cups.
Oh, right, coffee
Yeah,
mugs,
coffee
awesome
mugs.
coffee mugs there. So they will be at the Langwater event. They will be at the arts and cultural event, and I'm not sure about if we might be able to have some time on Saturdays at Langwater, but I'm not sure if we're going to be doing that before April 19th or
And
not.
we sold over $10,000 worth of merchandise
Already.
before 2025 even arrived.
That's true.
And I would like to thank your co-chair, Diane Lasati, because she put that cookbook together with her committee of volunteers. And it's got 300 plus recipes in there. We've already used 2 or 3 of them at home. One of them was my wife's, and
Oh, yeah.
of course we had to start with that
Good
one.
selection
had to.
there. Did you give it 4 stars?
Yeah,
on
that
the
was
page?
that was good, Dave.
But I'll
Good.
tell you, the book is selling like hotcakes. No, we're not selling hotcakes. We're selling recipes for you to take a look at. And they don't cost that much. They're $20 for a
Yeah.
cookbook, and you
Yeah.
get a bag with it with our logo on it. You get a schedule that tells you what's going to be happening for the entire year.
Yeah. And for
And,
those of you who have not had a chance to acquire one, there is also a limited edition of a solid pewter replica of the Ames shovel inscribed with the tricentennial information. And there was intentionally a run of 300 struck, and when they're gone, they're gone. So you'll see them at the various events as well. But hats off to Anne-Marie Taylor and Amanda Hurley, who've done just,
Oh, they
they
did a
and their team
fabulous
have just
job.
done an incredible job of not only knowing what to select, but how to present it and how to bring things to the community that are useful. That they're not going to sit on somebody's shelf. They're things you can wear, you can play with, you can do things with, you can cook with. So I think that's striking a chord in the community too, Dave.
It's truly amazing, and hats off to the Easton Select Board. They appointed 10 people to be the committee that would plan and organize for a couple of years this timely celebration. But this committee could not do it alone. This committee also put together a group of volunteers and coordinators for all the events. And somehow we picked all the right people to lead each event, because not only did they have experience, but their planning and preparation has been outstanding, folks. And you're going to find that out as you attend all these events. We don't need a lot of banners and signs and posters to promote the fireworks, the parade, or the bonfire. People hear about it, they want to be there anyways, and we're expecting a lot of non-residents. And we spent some time with the chief of police, the fire chief, the DPW director, to plan and prepare a security plan, especially knowing that we're going to get large crowds at all these events. Somebody asked me the other day, Dave, what do you think about the town of Easton? Well, off I went.
You'd better have been good,
If
Dave.
it was a radio show,
That's all I can say.
I would have went over the time limit. But the town of Easton is a great place to live, to work, and to enjoy. It's a great place to bring up a family. And it's a community that cares and shares. And I say this honestly, that take advantage of all these events. I know that when you see the family coming together, that is the heart and soul of any community. And I think when you get a family that wants to do things with mom and dad, even grandma and grandpa, do it with them, because time goes by fast. Before you know it, they're in college and they're all making their own lives. I always remember that guy that came home one night and he said to his wife, "I think I'm going to go in and help the kids with their homework." And she said, "I'm sorry, Dad, they're already off to college." The fact is, do what you can as a family. And we got a big star and emphasis on the importance of family as we go through this town celebration. And Brian, I'm sure you agree with me that bringing folks together is a priority.
It is, and I think at the foundation of this, like so many other things that happen in our town, the sense of community, the sense of people helping each other. You mentioned the quality of the volunteers in terms of their energy and their experience and things they bring to the party. But the other thing, as someone who's been involved in things like this for the better part of my life, is they show up. You know, they don't say, "Sure, I'll be there," and then, "I bought a new car, I've got to go check out this, I'm not going to be around." People show up and they can't wait to help. And I think that's the mark of folks who know what it means to live in a town and contribute to the town and to be part of the community and to welcome others. So, we're going to have 7 or 8 win-wins throughout the year with the signature events and the events that are going to be partnership events. One of the ones that I know is going to be, I think, really fascinating is we're going to be partnering with the Friends of Borderland for an antique car show. And
that's scheduled on the morning of October 11th from 9 to 2 p.m.
And I think last year they had about 140 odd antique autos. And excuse me, talking to the organizer, he said, "No, we expect 300. The magic number for this is 300, like it is for just about everything we're doing." And that will take over the entire landscape of Borderland, and it'll be a sight to see.
And we're excited about it. We're going to take a short break. I'm Dave Clifton here along with Brian Hoffman, and coordinators of 2 of our events that are coming up in April of 2025. Hurry back.
Good afternoon, everyone.
I'm Abby Malafato.
And I'm
Coming to you from 50 Oliver in North Easton, this is Easton News and
Don't have time to stay up and watch ECAT channels all day long or miss your favorite show's time slot? Don't worry, ECAT has a YouTube channel that has all the programs that we show, so you don't have to miss any of the episodes or catch up on past episodes. Search Easton Cat TV, with TV being the only capital letters. The YouTube channel has playlists for every program, even some of the programs you can download a podcast version. We even stream live events through our channel. To stay up to date with ECAT programming, make sure you look up ECAT's YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe so you can get all the alerts for the new programming premiere, and change the alerts to all to make sure you receive all of them. Remember to search Easton Cat TV, with TV being the capital letters. So there's no reason to miss any of the ECAT programming. Enjoy.
Welcome to Service Matters, a weekly radio show that talks about the good things that are happening in local communities and beyond.
Since 1978, the Easton Food Pantry has been dedicated to providing food to our neighbors in times of need. As long as there's hungry people in our community, our doors are open, our hearts will be open to help.
We also like to talk about the good things that people do to make a difference, and in many cases, to make dreams real for folks out there in need.
Just to chat about, as you say, some of the good things in life, there's some of the good things, the great things, and the happy things.
And certainly watch us on ECAT, Easton Community Access Television. Welcome back to the second part of our show called Easton 300. If you didn't catch us one month, you might have seen us in the past couple of years as we spent a lot of time planning and preparing for a year-round celebration. I remember someone asking me, what day is the celebration on? And I said, it's going to be for an entire year. And there's going to be, after all is said and done, maybe probably 15, 16 events. That does not include all the annual events that go on each year on an annual basis. And I remember New Year's Eve attending what I thought was a terrific event. Joan, you were very much involved in that. Tell us about
I will take a shameless
bringing in the new year.
I will do a shameless plug for Oakes Ames Memorial Hall. But we had a great time on New Year's Eve, and we had not done, I don't think a New Year's Eve celebration had been done at the hall for about 40 years. So we decided to bring it back, and we called it pre-gaming for the tricentennial. And that was our kickoff. So we had a great band, a lot of food, a lot of fun. And then we had special wine glasses with the logo on them. And I don't know how you describe it, kind of a corkscrew opener type thing that said Easton 300. And every guest had that at their place setting. So Dave was there, and the vice chair, Dale Carrister, was there. And I might add, they were both there in costume. A sight you may or may not want to see with the powdered wig and the outfit. And they did a little hear ye, hear ye. But it was a wonderful night, and it was great to let
Someone
people
told me
know about it.
I look better in the costume.
Well, you do look better in it. Yeah, he does. He does look better in it. But it was a wonderful, wonderful night. And we were so pleased, Oakes Ames Memorial Hall, to be able to be a part of kicking off the first event that happened 4 days later.
And I thank you very much for the opportunity to talk about our celebration. These are our brochures that are all around town. And it talks about the art festival, and it talks about the town picnic, the concert, the fireworks. We got a bonfire coming up. We got a block party. We got an anniversary gala. Get out your gowns, get out your tuxes.
Oh, and what about the parade? Tell them
I was
about
gonna
all
say,
the
we
great
also have
things
one
in the
heck of a
parade.
And I
coming
hadn't
up
got to
that's-
that yet, but it's going to
I
be
cut 'em off.
That's going
giant
That's going to
parade.
be the be-all and end-all of parades. I
Yeah,
think.
it's going to be a great
The
parade.
parade is going to be so large. It's going to start at the monument on Center Street, and it's going to take a right on Main Street. And of course, it's a long walk, but I found out that the town of Walpole's parade was even longer,
Oh,
and people made it. But we're going to have some convertibles for some of the dignitaries.
oh, well, you
And,
said dignitary. Sorry, I was going to say I'm going to be in a car. I've been practicing.
But
The
wave.
I traveled the parade route this morning, and I was totally exhausted, and I was in a car.
Yeah, see, I was.
Fact is, there's a lot of events going to happen, but I wanted to start off by asking you, Tom. I know you had a couple of comments you wanted to make.
Anybody knows me, I've been around in the community for a long time, coaching the kids over the years growing up, to doing our own adult basketball leagues on Sundays. And Karen and I, got involved. Dave kind of, hey, would you guys mind showing up one day last year? And we looked at it and said, sure, why not? And, we're putting together this event, Karen really spearheading a lot of this over Langwater Farms. And I want to tell you people out there to please look at what Dave, Dale, the community, Joan, what they've put forth. Plan your dates, your events around what we have set up for you. It is going to be spectacular. If you all had a chance to see just a part of what Stonehill did, Amanda and Anne Marie, again, kudos, an outstanding job. You really set the bar high for all of us to hopefully attain. This is a family event through the whole year for the most part. There is going to be just so much entertainment. What we're talking about briefly about the bonfires and the parades are going to be spectacular. I can't say enough about to please plan your events around there. The people have put together a phenomenal events plural, throughout the whole year. Highly recommend that you come out and see what we're all about.
Well said, Tom. Well, that ends our show for this week. I'm only kidding. The fact is that
Dave, I was so
how
excited.
right you are, Tom, that there's lots of excitement, and we ask families to put the schedule on your refrigerator, and every time you go there to grab a snack, take a look at that brochure. I was going to ask you, Brian, very next event after we finish with April is going to be the town picnic. There's going to be a flag ceremony starting at 4 p.m.
Yep.
There's going to be a 42-piece band. We're also going to have a concert from 7 to 9. And of course, the community picnic. Bring your lawn chairs, bring your blankets. If you want to bring your own picnic, do so, but there'll be food trucks there. And it's going to be something that's going to draw lots of people, especially the fireworks.
Yeah, it is. And I think that the amount of planning that goes into this, an event like this, doesn't just happen overnight. But the kind of opportunities that this presents for people as families, as individuals, as neighborhoods. We used to see this with an event we used to run at the Children's Museum in Easton, their annual Night at the Bruseum, and entire neighborhoods would walk together to go to the event. I saw the same thing at Stonehill. I saw literally almost an entire neighborhood of 2 or 3 streets, all of them with their kids all together, sitting down, having fun, enjoying the event. And I think each of these is an opportunity to do that same kind of thing. It really gets to be like the collection of villages almost, of these small but intertwined clusters of residents who know each other from maybe sports, maybe shopping, maybe getting involved in scholastic stuff.
Programs,
yeah. And they're finding this is a way for them to come back together to do more things, as a family, as a neighborhood, as a community. So when we look at what was initially the intent of the 300 celebrations, it was all about community, and it is turning out to be all about community, and I couldn't be happier.
And of course, this day will be on June 14th. That happens to be Flag Day. We're going to have a special flag ceremony to honor all the veterans in the town of Easton. We're going to have a flyover, and thank you to the Massachusetts State Police. They're going to have their wing division fly over.
That'll be
to
great.
salute the town of Easton on this major celebration. And then, of course, the community picnic. You talk about bringing families together. And there's going to be a concert from 7 to 9:15. Notice I said 9:15. I'm going to have them play some music while the fireworks go up in the sky as we salute the town of Easton. It's been a while since the community's had fireworks, although we had a quick display at Stonehill College as they celebrated their 75th anniversary this past year. But that's going to be a big day. Knowing that fireworks are taking place on June 14th, Flag Day, there's not going to be fireworks going on in any other town. So we expect to get a big crowd, not just residents, but we could have lots of non-residents. Let's talk about the parade. I know this parade is also going to have a flyover. Parade lineup is at 9 a.m. The parade goes off at 10. We thank the Haynes Group that'll be sponsoring the fireworks, I should say the parade. The fireworks, of course, are going to be sponsored by Alex Pyres. He's a former resident here in the town. Played his sports at Oliver Ames High School. He was one of the Tigers. He wants to give back to the community, and we appreciate that very much. 3 coordinators. We have Jessica Zimmerman, who's coordinating the community picnic. We have Adam Gunn, who's going to coordinate the flag ceremony. And we have two giant flags. It takes 40 people to hold each one of these flags as the plane flies over. It's going to be a terrific celebration, and we thank the fire chief, Justin Alexander. He's coordinating the fireworks. I'll tell you, I am smart. I picked the fire chief to be in charge of the fireworks and the bonfire. Of
Could
course,
keep you out of trouble.
Safety has to be an important element.
Sure does. And I think that underscores the kind of thing you and I and the committee have all experienced throughout these 18, 19 months of planning and getting to it, and that is that the department heads, the officials in the town, the people that we count on for roads and maintenance and repairs and safety have all jumped in, both feet, both arms right up to their necks, getting involved in this to make sure that, number one, the resources that we need are there, and number two, that everyone in the community feels safe about going to crowded events, because it's a little crazy out there in this world, and I think people have legitimate concerns. So it's great to see the chiefs and the director of the DPW saying, we're going to keep this safe. We're going to make sure you can
hats
be there.
off to Craig Barger, who's a select person in town, who's at all the meetings. And
He's terrific.
Craig's coordinating a lot, so Craig's doing a great job.
And I think when we talk about these events, it's also important, I think, for the viewers to know that if it weren't for some of the incredible businesses in town, and we've mentioned a few of them already this evening, but so many of these events and the cost of the events is being underwritten by businesses who realize the value of community. They're part of the community. They don't just come in, make their money, and leave. They're part of the fabric of this community, and that's what makes something like this hum.
And just to respond to a viewing audience out there, because that question has come up on Facebook, who's paying for the celebration? The celebration, as Brian mentioned, is being paid for by the sponsors. Yes, the town made a contribution, but a lot of the sponsors have really come forward to the tune of maybe $365,000 to make a celebration, year-round celebration of events and activities to happen. Someone has to pay the bill. But I got to tell you, going around town and talking to people, I thank them for their generosity. I thank them for stepping up to do what they can to assist their community. I thank fundraising expert Courtney Pupkin for her leadership in raising some major money. I thank Ken also for his leadership. He also raised money and helped with the banners. And it takes a team effort in order to make a celebration like this work. It's not done by a small committee. It's not done by an individual. It's done by groups of people in the town that want to come forward, that want to make this happen. And there's one group that's missing. They certainly showed up at the first event, but we want the townspeople to come forward and to participate in all these events. Come forward. It's time for the town of Easton to celebrate.
It is,
It
and we're
is
just
300
getting started.
years.
And I think that that's another important thing to let our viewers know, that we are just getting started. There are an incredible number of events that are coming up, and yes, we have some terrific volunteers who are already engaged and taking responsibility and making things happen. But if you out there want to be involved at any level, go on eastern300.org, check us out, communicate with people, send to that, what was that email address, Joan, for, is it?
Easton300.2025@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And
Drop
the
us a note.
webpage is
Yeah.
www.easton300.org. I'll repeat that for the folks that may be driving over a bridge. It's www.easton300.org. And of course, it's been fun planning the celebration. And of course, I wanted to ask you this question, Joe, not to put you on a spot, but
Okay, I won't be. Go ahead.
does all these events, does celebrating the town's 300, is this a different year than other years? How would you classify
It's a
it?
great year, and people are, they're excited. They were starting to get excited once the holidays were passed, but then we had the opening event. We had New Year's Eve, then we had the official event at Stonehill. People are really excited about it. They're asking. Yeah, it's a great year. It's a great year for the town.
Yeah,
How
and I
about,
think the success will
Karen,
breed
you
success.
and Tom, how do you feel about this being a different kind of year where folks out there that don't know their neighbors are going to meet their neighbors this year? There are some neighborhoods that want to have their own block party.
There are some
Before we
neighbors
get
you don't
into
want to
block
meet.
parties, I wanted to get your viewpoint.
Well, we've been in town for 32 years, and we were at the 275th event, mainly the parade there, and our children were relatively small then, and I just remember that being a fun day, but I think this is going to be even more, to use your word, spectacular than anything we've seen in the town. I mean, the parade itself, just who and what is going to be in the parade is amazing, and as Tom said, to plan your vacations, time away around our anniversary schedule, because it will be things you will hear about what you missed if you didn't get to go. They will be well worth your time to attend specifically the signature events, but also the smaller partnership events like the Langwater Farm event in April.
We want to thank all the folks who have come forward to volunteer their time, their talent, their ideas, their resources, and in many cases their funds to make our dream come true, to celebrate 300 years of history. And there's a lot more room for more volunteers, and I think Brian touched upon it. We need more volunteers. It takes 35 or 40 just to line up a parade, especially the size that we're talking about. There's so many people right now that want to be in the parade that I'm worried that there'll be nobody watching. Everybody will be in it. But the fact is, we're expecting large crowds, and I know that it takes a lot of people to make some of these events take place. Let's talk about the block party. That's scheduled on September 6th. And we got two dynamic co-chairs. They're another husband and wife team. And of course, I'm talking about Dan and Jamie Anderson. He's a guy that when he speaks, he doesn't need a microphone. But he's lined up 14 to 15 volunteers. They're planning and preparing for the September 6th event to take place at the Governor Eames estate. They got plenty of room over there to do all kinds of things for people of all ages. What have you guys got to say about that block party?
I think it's going to be fabulous. I think he's got so many activities planned. It's going to be a great day. Yeah. And I think there'll be food trucks there as well as people on site, or I think where there's plenty of space, you could bring your own picnic and have a good time.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful setting too.
It is.
The Governor Eames estate offers, just an incredible, almost colonial feel to the landscape. You can roam around there and not be bothered by anything in the 21st century, or you can turn around and go do exactly what you do want to do with your phones or your laptops or whatever. But it's a very peaceful place. I don't think it's going to be peaceful that day. I think it's going to be rocking. I think there's going to be a lot of people having a great time at a family picnic.
And of course, this entire celebration will be covered by ECAT, Easton Community Access Television. Adam, we thank you, and we thank all the volunteers at the ECAT studio. You don't have far to go for the block party. It's across the street. And I know that you help us get the word around town in terms of planning and preparing the idea of bringing families and the community together. And I know that somebody the other day told me that they were in town visiting family. They come from another community in Natick, and they were watching about our celebration. And they were saying, I wonder if they got any homes for sale here in the town of Easton. But they were impressed with what's going on. Let's go back to the fire chief's leadership, the bonfire. And we want to thank certainly the Lions Club. Their motto is we care,
We serve.
share, and we serve. I know that I should remember that because Rotary's motto is service above self, and Lions is we serve. And I know that they're planning the barbecue.
Yep.
There's going to be a concert, there's going to be music, another place to bring your blankets, your chairs, there'll be a bonfire. It's a chance to reminisce about what's happened during the entire year and prepare yourself for December 27th. We hope it'll be a decent day weather-wise, but that will be our anniversary gala. It will be at Stonehill College. We're going to roll out the red carpet. There's going to be spotlights when you walk in. You're going to think you're in Hollywood, but you're going to be in Easton, Massachusetts, at the home of the Skyhawks at Stonehill College.
Yep, and I
And
think,
it's going to be a dinner dance.
yeah, I think it's going to be a great way to cap off the year. And it reminds us that if it weren't for the kindness and the sense of community from Father John Denning, the president of the college, our kickoff event and our gala wouldn't happen in a place like that. And so, again, another example of community asset really acting as a part of the community. So our hats off to Stonehill.
And you know, people have been asking the question, should I wear a tuxedo? Is it required? Do I have to have a gown? It's just a dress-up affair. There'll be many people who wear tuxedos and gowns. And of course, they're still meeting and deliberating on what the cost will be. That'll be a ticket pay. Most everything else in town is free for a celebration. But we certainly have to pay the bill for this giant celebration on December 27th.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming everybody here is going to be at most of the events. And of course, it's hard to say no on TV. But the fact is,
I'm going to be there.
the fact is
very
that
good at this,
yeah.
by the way. Getting you,
And I have convinced Dave to wear a tux, not a gown. So
Yeah, the
we're
tux would be
there.
good.
and that I will do. I'm not sure if it fits me, but the fact is, I want to thank Southeast Regional Vocational Technical High School. That's a lot to say. It's a lot to put on the back of a jersey. But the fact is, we thank the schools in Easton for coming forward and cooperating. We thank all the town department heads. We thank the select board. Even the town moderator, people who have come forward to help push celebration. And we're forever grateful. And you've got some people that you want to thank.
I want to thank everybody that Dave wants to thank, but I really want to thank Northeastern Savings Bank, and that's shameless because it's the April 26th. But I just wanted to take a minute because it was, in case you missed the beginning of this wonderful program, I hope you didn't. If you feel you have any artistic talent, pottery, painting, drawing, photography, and you would like to be a part of our Art and Culture Day, which will happen on April the 26th, please take 3 photos of your work, send it in to easton300.org. Go there first, get the application and the rules, and please be a part of it because it's going to be a wonderful celebration.
Why don't you repeat that again?
All
Someone
of
was
it?
getting a pen and they now have it.
All of it? Okay.
Not all of it, just
All right,
the,
not all of it. I talk too much. So listen, you think you're artistic or somebody, your friend thinks you're artistic, go on easton300.org. Download the application and the rules. see what your specialty is, take photos, send it back, and hopefully we will select you because we want to have a wonderful show and all kinds of art on display April the 26th. Deadline for this is February the 21st. We will let you know on March 14th. Thank you.
And thank you, Joan, and your co-coordinator, Diane Lasati. Some final comments from our co-chairs of the Easton 300 Family Fun Day at Langwater.
Well, I hope everybody will bring their cherubs. It is going to be a very fun day. Again, also hoping that the weather cooperates there, but I think it'll be it's a great place. I know this Saturday, plug for them, they have the bonfire of the Christmas trees on this Saturday, the 25th. But Langwater always has a lot of family-friendly things going on there, and this particular event is going to be really fun. I'm thrilled about Toe Jam, Puppet Band being there, as well as the artsy face painting group with Jen and Laura there. They are going to make it even more special, and all the free activities that will be there, and hopefully ice cream. I will scope that one out.
Good. I know Dale, my vice chair, likes cookies, but I like ice cream. Final comments, Brian.
Well, we've mentioned it so many times this evening, and I think we've failed to say thank you to the Oakes Ames Memorial Hall, to President Fred Ames, and to the Board of Trustees that, just like everybody else in town, have gotten so engaged in partnering with the Easton 300 Committee and with all of the various activities. It's a marvelous building. It's an artistic and architectural treasure, but it's also a living, breathing part of the community. It's not just a building on a hill. It's a place where lots of things happen, and we're really blessed to have it as part of our stuff. So
Yeah, it's a beautiful building, and I have to say, Fred did step right up immediately and said, let's be a part of the tricentennial.
Terrific. I want to thank all of our guests for joining us today as we come to the final couple minutes of our show called Easton 300. A nice thank you I'd like to give to our major sponsors, certainly the Lee Williams Foundation for the anniversary gala. I'd like to thank certainly Dave Howe, the town bonfire and concert. The block party will be sponsored by Doug King and his foundation. I thank the Ains Group for sponsoring a giant parade. Alex Pires, thank you so much for remembering the town of Easton and sponsoring our fireworks. I thank the Bank of Easton, the Northeast Savings Bank. I thank the Rhodes family and SCU Credit Union, and of course, all those other folks in town that also made timely donations. This has been a terrific program, an opportunity to talk about a lot of events and to encourage people to participate. I say go forth to serve, do it with a smile on your face. And I can't end our show without saying how important it is to say to each and every one of you, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of helping others by being a volunteer, and to remember this important celebration, the Easton 300th anniversary. Thank you all for joining us, and Happy New Year in 2025.